After a brief hiatus, we have returned and we are live. Good Monday morning to everybody. This is the Going Broadway podcast. As always, thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us. My name is Alex. As always, to my left is Cole. Cole, what's happening?
Finally, the best podcast ever is back on Monday mornings. It's great.
And Stacy said it best. She said it's been way too long. It has. I mean, when we only do this twice a week, I mean, it's been a week. We haven't been here for a week. We had some stuff going on, and we weren't on Thursday, but we're back and better than ever, as Eric Bischoff's theme once said. You don't remember that?
I try to forget anything that's Eric Bischoff.
That's fine. Good morning, Bonnie. Billy, hello. Billy, that's right, the greatest podcast ever. Nathan, good morning. Mark, good morning. Thomas, good morning. Matt, good morning. Michael, good morning. Jordan, first time I've gotten to listen live from the UK as I'm usually at work. Thanks for tuning in. We love it. DA61934, good morning. Philip, good morning. Thomas says Facebook is still about 20 seconds behind YouTube. Shocker. Pow Opa, good morning to the greatest podcast ever. Thank you. Lynn, hello. Ricky, good morning. Mr. Ryan, good morning to everybody. And I'm just going to get started with something I actually posted this in some of the Facebook groups that I'm a part of. If the rumors are true, we will be getting a new United States belt tonight, finally. And Jamie, good morning. Thanks for it's good to be back. We appreciate it. It has been way too long since we've needed this change for quite some time to the United States title. And we've said this before, it's the longest tenured belt, at least as far as the design. I don't know if they've had physical different belts along the way, but from a design standpoint, it's the longest tenured belt that that WWE has had. WrestleVotes, they're very reliable. They were told that we should be seeing the debut of that new belt tonight. Their words were, it's supposed to, I'm just going to pull the tweet back up from them. But it said something along the lines of it's supposed to be classy. No, not classy. It says, source said the belt has a clean yet prestigious look to it. I hope so. I mean, because the thing they have now, I mean, they've had it for a better part of, 16, 17 years probably. I mean, since early some of you guys are commenting on it. 2002, 2003. Yeah, I mean, it's been way too long. And I'm kind of partial. Cole might not necessarily agree or disagree or just be more just kind of impartial, but being an old school fan, I'm used to the older United States belts that did have the clean, prestigious look to it that this does not have. Your thoughts?
As long as it looks good. I mean, I agree. I think it's long overdue to switch it out, but so far with a lot of the newer belts we've gotten, that they've been very underwhelming. So I'm kind of like, yeah, it's great that they're introducing a new one, but is it going to be worse?
Yeah, I don't know.
The one that we have now. So as long as it looks good, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I just can't believe that belt design had been around for so long. It's crazy because I'm not a big fan of, and we'll more directly talk wrestling here in a little bit, but a lot of us are fans of belts in general, and so that's just kind of why we're talking about it. But I actually prefer the U.S. spinner belt over this thing, and that's saying something.
Oh my goodness, that's just funny because he hates them.
It is, yeah. Anyway, Yeah, and someone said earlier that if rumors are true, replicas will also go on sale this evening after Raw. Those are going to sell out quick. Even if they're crappy looking, they're still going to sell out because it's wrestling fans like wrestling belts, and they're going to. Here's what happens. Wrestling fans, even if they don't like belts, what they're going to do is they're going to buy it, see it as and there's nothing wrong with this, don't get me wrong. They're going to see it as an investment and then turn around, mark it up for $100-$150 and then go try to resell it because they can. But yeah, I don't if they do if the belt is revealed tonight and the replicas do go on sale, they're not going to last long. Jordan says, I think it's the only belt left that I like. And if you like it, that's fine. I'm not a fan of it. I can see why. And Jordan, I don't know how long you've watched wrestling, but I go back to old school NWA United States belt. I'm talking like back to the original, like it's got had the red croc skin and then the casted plates on it. They actually had two different versions of it. They had the red strap and then they had a black strap. Then they went to a smaller Southern style type belt. You can find pictures of like Greg Valentine with it and Sergeant Slaughter, guys like that. And then they went to the NWA Luger version that most of us old school fans would agree that's pretty much the classic belt. A lot of people like the WCW US belts. They had a 5-plate version. They had a 3-plate version. But somewhere along the way, WWE decided, hey, we're going to replace that. This was after they did the whole invasion angle, and they came out with the atrocity that they've had for the last 18 years. That's just my opinion. Some people like it. Totally fine. Pal Opa says, Apollo Crews is lucky. First title reign and a new U.S. title design. Agreed. Now, I kind of sort of called this. Now, I didn't give a specific date. But if you go back and listen to one of our podcasts from, I'm guessing, March or April, vague guess, but I actually said if they're going to debut a U.S. title design, they're going to do it somewhere around 4th of July. I didn't say, I wasn't specific. I didn't say anything like, well, they're going to have it the Raw after 4th of July, or they're going to do it a pay-per-view before or after the 4th of July. I just said it'll be around 4th of July if they do it. Go back and look if you don't believe me. March or April, somewhere time frame is when I mentioned that. But it was still a surprise whenever I saw this morning because I totally forgot that I made that prediction. Andrew says, I hope it doesn't look as forgettable as the IC belt. Mr. Ryan, the spinner was the only other design. They threw that one in there. But Matt says WCW US title was better. Michael Hunter, NWA US title was the best. Agreed. Mr. Ryan says he actually likes the new IC titles. It's his favorite since the Oval. Let's see. Jason, what's going on? Yeah, Andrew Belt Geeks, exactly. Jamie says, I want to see the U.S. title with the Canadian flag on it via from the Lance Storm days. Yeah. I was kind of a fan of that angle. If you guys don't remember that, Lance Storm had a thing where he put Canadian flags on different belts that he had and renamed them, and it's Jason says, are we doing giveaways this morning? You'll just have to stick around and find out. I'm not going to say one way or another if we are or aren't. You'll have to wait and see. Hang out with us and find out. Mr. Ryan says, if the U.S. spinner didn't have Cena's name on it. I just saw you answer his question. Thomas says the spinners are worse. Let's see.
I say we go back to spinner belts.
Good grief. Thomas says, I agree that the current belt needs to be changed, but I can't stand the spinners. To me, that just says how much I dislike the current design. I felt like the U.S. spinner was better than the one they have. I want to read David C. Lee's comment. He says, if it's traditional looking, then great. The IWGP U.S. title is pretty nice. I agree, and I have one, and I love it. So anyway, do you have anything you want to talk about?
I do have one thing, and it's kind of funny because we brought him up already, so that's what brought it back to my mind.
Cool. Tangent. Or not, segue, that's what I was trying to say.
So apparently, I've been seeing this article all over these wrestling groups on Facebook. Apparently, John Cena was against AJ Styles, the signing of AJ Styles, and I went and read what was actually talked about. And this was from Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson came out and was kind of talking about some of this stuff. And
speaking of, got my Brainbuster shirt on, Arn and Tully, 88, 89. Sorry, continue.
And he was talking. Apparently, he sat down and he had a few guys on his watch list, kind of like, if we could get these guys, I really think it would amplify us and take us to the next level. And he was talking about AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, and James Storm, which is funny because only one of the three has been used correctly in WWE.
Yeah.
I mean, on the main roster,
Yeah.
Bobby Roode has really not been given a fair shot. But John Cena's words to him is that we have NXT, we make our own stars. And I thought that was really interesting because to me, it actually is not a diss at AJ Styles, like the article made it sound. Like the article headline makes it sound like he doesn't like AJ Styles. But the truth is that he understands AJ Styles as a name, but he was back to being John Cena, who John Cena is. He was about creating new stars and creating their own stars and not just grabbing guys from companies that were killing it there and bringing them over.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why he likes, I mean, I know there's things going on behind the scenes, but I think that's why he likes guys like Velveteen Dream, because it was somebody that was more homegrown. It wasn't someone they just pulled off the indies that was killing it on the indies and then brought over. It wasn't the hottest free agent to say that got brought over, but it was somebody that they actually got to invest in. And so I just thought that was really interesting that he, of all people, was kind of against bringing AJ Styles in, even though AJ Styles is one of their top stars to date.
Yeah, and the thing I've noticed with a lot of these, I don't want to say that they are, what's the word I'm looking for? Like clickbait stories. They're not that. I mean, I'd say they're a couple steps below that. But a lot of these articles that wrestling websites put out there, I mean, they're called wrestling tabloids for a reason. I mean, they'll try to grab your attention with the headline that says, you know, John Cena didn't want AJ Styles to join WWE. I read the article, and that is not even what the article at all says. Now, I don't disagree with John Cena in that I don't think there's anything wrong with having your NXT and creating your own stars from within. But I think if you're WWE, do both. I mean, create your stars from within, but then if you see someone like AJ Styles who is an investment, go out and get him. And obviously he has been a great investment. I mean, I don't know what his merch sales are like, but if you only look at it from that perspective, I'd be shocked if AJ Styles is not in their top 5. That's not even withstanding the awesome matches he's had
late in his career.
Exactly. I mean, he could be Undertaker's last opponent for all we know. I mean, that in itself is saying something. There's not a way to quantify how much he has improved. You know, for example, WWE Network subscriptions or anything like that. But I'm sure that you have people out there that purchased the WWE Network because AJ Styles was headlining a pay-per-view. I mean, it's inevitable. Couple of your guys' comments. Andrew says NXT hasn't made a star since Elias. They're just getting ready-made stars from the indies. I'll agree with that to an extent. Whenever you say ready-made, that's the part I disagree with, because let's look at Aleister Black, for example. So he was Tommy End coming from the indies. You could not have just thrown him. When you say ready-made, I know that's kind of a loaded comment, but what I'm getting at is ready-made from the standpoint of
they couldn't like AJ Styles came to the main roster point blank.
Right.
He didn't have to go through NXT. There was he didn't even need a build. He could just show up at Royal Rumble. You knew who that was.
Right.
There was no question about it. Guys like Keith Lee, not everybody knows who that dude is. Even though he's talented, even though he's probably one of the best signings that WWE has on their roster currently throughout their entire roster, he's still, you could not just sign him and put him on Raw and be like, oh yeah, I know who that is. You couldn't do that with a lot of the guys who have been and gone through NXT who are either a top star now. Kevin Owens would have had a hard time because he had to change his name.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a select group of people that they probably could have gotten away with putting on the main roster, putting them directly on Raw or SmackDown. I think you have guys like...
You could have brought Drew back. Drew could have probably came right back up.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre could have been put straight back into the picture.
But he wanted that.
Yeah. I think you could have gotten away with Kevin Owens because a lot of people knew him on the Indies and Ring of Honor as Kevin Steen.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a familiar look. Mr. Ryan actually just said, right as I was about ready to say it, Samoa Joe didn't have to go to NXT.
But he did go to NXT, but he didn't need to.
That's what I'm saying.
He could have went directly up.
Now you've also got guys like, so Sami Zayn wasn't as recognizable because he wore a mask on the Indies. Why am I blanking on his name? Somebody help me out. You guys are watching. What was Sami Zayn's name in Ring of Honor? And
it starts with an L, doesn't it?
I don't remember. He wore a mask. Why is it not coming to me? Help me out, guys. I could look it up too, but as soon as I would look it up, someone would have the answer for me. El Generico, that's right, or Generico, whatever. But he wore a mask, so no one would know who he was. So that's why he went to NXT. But you still knew. But you've got guys like, I'll say it this way, I'm not, Andrew, I'm not disagreeing with you totally. But what I'm getting at is actually two things. Ready-made stars, I have a problem with that comment as far as like being able to agree with you on that fully. The second thing is, where are you? If you're NXT, you're not going to want to just bring somebody that, how am I trying to phrase this? With the current climate of wrestling, and I know that Elias has been around since 2015, so I get that example. The issue is guys that are in the indies right now, they're looking for their shot in the WWEs, in the AEWs, in the New Japan Pro Wrestlings, even to some degree, the Ring of Honor, things like that. And so that's part of what NXT is that next step of a breeding ground to improve guys from the indies. And you couldn't have just thrown a Tommy End / Aleister Black in a main roster mix right away. You couldn't have thrown in a
even Ricochet.
Ricochet. He probably couldn't have gone. I mean, he's one that I'm on the fence about, but I would lean towards he probably needed to go to NXT. Adam Cole's a great example. He didn't have to go to NXT. I'm not to backtrack, but they could have thrown him right on the main roster like they did at AJ Styles.
I will say this though. NXT is not just about improving their wrestling ability or their mic ability. Sometimes it's just creating a fan base on a different show where they can get the main focus. Because if you brought Adam Cole directly in, he probably would not be as hot as he is right now on NXT. I just don't know. And the reason why is that when you have so many names, you see it now on the main roster. People get lost in the mix really, really easy. We've seen that happen with so many NXT stars already that got brought up who have not had near the fan base that Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era has, though. Mm-hmm. And so you have to be able to bring them up and them have a fan base ready to go already, which is why guys like Kevin Owens have been able to bounce back, which is why I got even Samoa Joe. Ricochet, I think, will bounce back. But some of them have gotten called up, like Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode can't catch a break. He can't catch a break, even though from someone like Arn Anderson to be like, yeah, this is one of those guys that I think could elevate us, and then he can't catch a break on the main roster, but on NXT was killing it. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, well, NXT is a place where you can get over and get a fan base that's a WWE fan base. So when you get up to the main roster, you're not just lost in the mix trying to win people over at the snap of a finger. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it's about, when you say ready-made, I think, yeah, they probably are talented enough already. There's plenty of people on NXT from a wrestling standpoint who are talented enough to be on the main roster. Plenty of them.
Oh, probably half the guys on NXT from a talent standpoint didn't have to go to NXT. I mean, you've got guys that, like Steve says, Nakamura didn't have to go to NXT, nor did Kushida. From a talent standpoint, no, they didn't have to. But if you bring those guys to a Raw or SmackDown,
Kushida, he wouldn't be on the week. He wouldn't be on there after a month.
You wouldn't even know who Kushida is right away unless you're a hardcore fan. You know, unless you're familiar with New Japan's product, you would not have known who Kushida is. Unless you're familiar with Ring of Honor, you would not have known who Kushida is. Nakamura may be a different story, but I would still be inclined to say he was better suited going to NXT first. Now, that's notwithstanding how they're poorly using him now. I mean, that's just one person's opinion, but that's neither here nor there. Mr. Ryan says, I'm actually surprised Cassius Ohno didn't go to the main roster, but he needs to lose weight. I mean, he's not with the company anymore, but I'm not surprised. I mean, I think that's partially why they wanted him to go to NXT, because whenever had two different stints with WWE/NXT. Both times I think they put him on NXT because they said, okay, we like your in-ring work, but you need to do something about the weight. You need to do something to get the weight issue under control, and then we'll look into putting you in a more prominent role, either on NXT or bumping you to Raw or SmackDown, and it unfortunately never happened for him.
He doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, he didn't really for me either. I don't know what it was, but like if you go and watch him in Ring of Honor, I mean he's good in the ring. I mean it could just be a different environment. I can't put my finger on it, but there's a big difference between Cassius Ohno and
Chris Hero.
I can't put my finger on what it is exactly.
Even him as Chris Hero, he just doesn't do it for me. I don't know what it is. I just not a fan.
And I get it. It just has a different feel. If you go watch any of his Ring of Honor, well, maybe not any, but if you go watch a lot of his Ring of Honor matches, I mean, he had at least one or two with Adam Cole. One of them, in particular, that I remember was a great match, and that was back in the day. Shouldn't say back in the day, but that was at a point where Ring of Honor, any Ring of Honor main event, on a mainstream card or maybe like a pay-per-view or something, a well-publicized card is what I'm trying to say. Ring of Honor has been here local before, for like a smaller show. So that's not the type of settings I'm referring to, but like a Ring of Honor pay-per-view or a well-publicized TV taping or whatever, you're almost guaranteed at least a 4-star main event match at one point. I'm talking early 20-teens, something like that. So anyway, we're kind of getting off on a tangent, but we also like to talk about things that you guys are suggesting, and we go off your guys' comments. So Dylan says they could have used Kevin Steen. No one else owned that name.
He probably didn't want them to use Kevin Steen.
Yeah, I agree. That's probably from a business standpoint. They probably
saving that just in case. You never know. You never know how the business goes. He could have easily been one of the guys that left during this whole COVID stuff. If you're not getting prominent stuff on TV, you just never know. Which is why I think Charlotte Flair and Andrade and a lot of those guys went and trademarked their indie names and trademarked names that they could use on the indies, because they needed to know that they have something that already has some kind of a draw to it.
Yeah, they need to keep their marketing value, I guess, from a lack of a better way of putting it. And I don't fault him for that at all, for changing his name. Now, there could have been a scenario where Kevin Steen, I'm sure, could have worked out with WWE. Hey, I want to own the rights to my name, but also use it. And I'm sure WWE said no. I mean, that's going to be a Vince McMahon say, I guess. For him to be like, I'm sorry, pal, but if you want to use that name, we have to own the rights to it.
Which, I mean, they were at one point in time just buying people when there was no competitor, literally buying people just to take their name from them. I mean, like literally that's what it was. They were buying these guys, putting them on NXT, taking the rights to their name, and then sending them back to the indies when they don't work out, and say, "Oh, sorry, we own your name now, so you're going to have to go figure it out."
Right. I'll tell you what, guys. Let's do our predictions for this Wednesday for Fyter Fest Night 2 and Great American Bash Night 2. Tell you what, let's just tackle Great American Bash Night 2 just because this will be fairly quick. I mean, there's only been three matches announced for the card. But we'll tackle the three that we know.
I got 5.
Really?
Yeah.
So I've got the winner take all match. I've got the Mia Yim Candice LeRae street fight, and then I've got the Breezango and Drake Maverick against.
They're supposed to do Knox versus Shirai and Gargano versus Swerve Scott as well.
Okay. Well, let's just tackle.
They're supposed to.
Let's tackle the first two that you said that I don't have. So Swerve Scott and Gargano,
which was started based off of something that happened on night 1. Basically, if you guys watch, Candice LeRae got ganged up on in the number 1 contender fight. She lost.
I'm surprised at how quickly she got eliminated.
They made sure that she's out of a storyline angle for the belt.
Oh, definitely. She's out of the picture.
So,
which is still shocking to me because it's like NXT or WWE doesn't want her anywhere near the NXT Women's title, and I don't know why, but
yeah, it's strange.
But I've got Gargano in this match.
So Candice LeRae beats up on Mia Yim. Swerve Scott tries to kind of break it up a little bit, but then Gargano comes over. Him and Gargano get into it, so it kind of sets up this match. And I have Johnny Gargano as well. I think the match is actually going to be pretty good because Swerve Scott is actually a talented dude. So I think the match is actually going to be a really good match, but I think it's just a build for Johnny.
Yeah, I agree. I want to pause something real quick. I got a comment on this real quick. Brody Blankenship says, hello there, everyone. Hope everyone is good. Who is ready to see Brian Pillman Jr. take on Shawn Spears on Dark? Me. So I'm a big fan of Brian Pillman Sr., his dad. Should say was, unfortunately. He's no longer with us. But he's great in the ring, and his son is just a spitting image if you've watched any of his matches. So I'm stoked. I would not be shocked if Brian Pillman Jr. is signed by AEW. I hope he is. He would be a great pickup for them. And there's rumors that they're thinking about doing a Four Horsemen-esque angle. I've read all kinds of stuff on social media about people that would be for it. People think it'd be a bad idea, that they're against it. Let's put it this way. If they do it right and don't call it the Four Horsemen, but they're going to make it Four Horsemen-esque, I mean, I'd be okay with it. I mean, it's just like a faction. It's no different than the hundreds of wrestling factions that we've had in the past. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that because I'm pretty excited about that. It's one of the few times, I'll be honest, I'm not a weekly viewer of AEW Dark, but I will be watching this week, and I'm excited to see it. So let's get back to the Bash.
So the other one that is not technically official, but they are saying that it's a good shot, would be the Knox versus Shirai match.
I'd be surprised if because they haven't announced it yet, I'd be surprised if they do put it on the card. I mean, let's put it this way. If they have it on the card, I'd say Shirai is going to win just because they've not promoted it or built it in any way. In fact, I think either way, I'd still pick Io Shirai, but
yeah, I'm going. If this happens, I'm going Io Shirai. The thing that's interesting is that Io's kind of putting off face vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know if you want to do face versus face, which is Tegan and Io. I just don't know if that's a smart move. So I kind of feel like this might just be one of those one-off matches to kind of hold it down until they can start a new type of storyline. So
possibly,
I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But if those two matches happen, I just wanted to make sure we covered those. So at the top of the card, we'll be looking at the 6-man tag match between Drake Maverick and Breezango versus Legado del Fantasma. I don't know what that means.
If any of you know Spanish, help us out.
But yeah, this is a very interesting match.
I wouldn't be surprised if this, maybe next to the winner take all match, but I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being match of the night. I feel like you've got, I don't know.
You got a lot of sleepers in there.
You've got 6 guys that are probably going to go out there and be like, all right, we need to prove ourselves and really like turn it up a notch because this is our one time to do it. Because this is technically an NXT, it's a pay-per-view-esque event. It's not like
it's highlighted.
It's not a normal NXT weekly show.
Yeah.
Even though it is, but you guys know what I mean. I expect this to be a pretty decent match. I feel like this is going to be a situation where you've got 6 guys that are going to probably rehearse the match, go through various spots. I'm not saying playing out the whole match necessarily. If they do, then okay, fine. But this is kind of a tough pick.
For me, I'm going Drake Maverick and Breezango.
Really?
And the reason why is again, this is a match where the belt's not on the line.
Yeah, that's kind of what the direction I was going.
And it will not hurt the new faction as long as I'm sorry, King Cuerno. I just can't call him the name.
Yeah.
That's not his name. As long as he doesn't take the pin, whether it's Raw or it's Joaquin, I think one of them takes the pin, but I see Drake Maverick.
I think I'm going to agree with you.
Getting the rub on this and getting Breezango the rub on this because they want Breezango in the title picture too.
Yeah.
Which is actually, now that I think about it, how come we don't have a tag title match on this?
That's a good question.
It's kind of a strange thing. I wonder if there's something going on with the Imperium thing, but it's interesting that there wasn't a Imperium match, and maybe there will be. Maybe it'll shock us and they'll announce it. I don't know, but I just, now that I'm thinking about it, I was like, oh, that might have been a better match. But
yeah. All right, let's see. Mia Yim and Candice LeRae, street fight.
This is going to be a nasty match.
Yeah, because Candice LeRae, if you've watched any of her stuff from PWG, she can wrestle and take some stiff bumps and stiff shots. Like, I'm talking with, like, actual legit weapons. Like, Candice LeRae has taken a super kick from Matt Jackson with a shoe that had thumbtacks on it. And not even kidding. There's a video of it on YouTube. Go check it out. So
it's just funny because she kind of portrays like the girly girl vibe.
Yeah.
But she's so tough. And to me, this could be match of the night. I know Johnny Gargano, or not Johnny Gargano. I know that Alex Cole and Keith Lee is going to be match of the night. I know it. But I'm saying, in a regular card where that wasn't the match, the main event, like if this was on last week's card, could have very easily been match of the night. This has that kind of potential, which just speaks to the talent that these two have.
I'm going Candice LeRae.
I'm divided, man.
The only reason I'm going Candice LeRae is because they've
been hurting her.
Well, that elimination match from last week, she was the first one eliminated, was she not?
Yes.
And wasn't it?
And then it was.
Wasn't it fairly quick too that she got eliminated?
Yeah, and then it was Mia that got eliminated right after.
I'm going Candice LeRae. This one still is a toss up, but
it's tough.
I'm going Candice LeRae on this one.
I'm gonna say Candice as well, and I'm gonna say it's done in a way that seems like it was unfair, even though it's a street fight. I know that the rules allow it to be that way, but I'm going to do it in a way that makes it seem like it was just off the wall unbelievable.
Yeah. Okay. Winner take all match, Adam Cole and Keith Lee. I fully expect this match to go 35, 40 minutes. And I agree. And I agree. I expect it to be match of the night. Now, yes, there was a potential spoiler that was leaked. I'm not going to say anything. I think someone already said it on the thread.
Hopefully it was on YouTube. I'm not looking at YouTube. I don't see it on Facebook. Do
But-
not tell me who it is. I don't want to know.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Supposedly, it was leaked, but it was also a supposed maybe a cover, or maybe it's true. I don't know. But someone came out and said they actually filmed 2 different results, 2 different endings. And they also said something like 2 different storylines. So, I mean,
I
that
could actually believe that with this particular match because there is the threat of Karrion Kross.
they could go in so many different directions. I mean, let's say either one of them. Let's say, well, I mean, either one of them could win. Like you said, they could have Karrion Kross do some kind of a run in. They could do. They could. Adam Cole could win, and they could have someone come from Raw or SmackDown and say, "Hey, I'm challenging for the belt now." They could do the same thing with Keith Lee. No matter who wins, there's so many different directions they could go with this from a storyline standpoint. So that part of the comment, I don't know if it was someone that tweeted it or whatever, but someone actually said they filmed 2 different endings, 2 different storylines. The 2 different storylines part is really what has me intrigued. And I think, side note, what would be really fun is, how movies will actually give you an alternate ending? I wish whenever they did this for wrestling matches, they would film the alternate ending and just put it like on the network, or just kind of give us a little bit of an insight of, okay, we went this way with it, but we could have gone that way with it, kind of thing. And I just think that would be kind of a fun little, maybe like the network has so many different shows on there that, this day and age, maybe keep us as the viewer entertained during this COVID stuff, and, film alternate endings, obviously go in a certain direction with it, but then you could have a separate show on the network that kind of looks at, okay, we went this way with it, but what if we went this way? Like you could call the show, what if? What if we went with this ending and went with this storyline? Just, I don't know.
Right.
Who you got? I'll tell you who I got. I'm going Keith Lee on this one. I think Keith Lee wins it all, and I think this sets up Adam Cole going to Raw or SmackDown in a month or 2. I expect him to maybe take a little bit of time off, because I've read off and on for the last few months that he's dealt with nagging minor injuries. Give him time to heal. Make a surprise return at SummerSlam or something like that. I think we've fully ruled out that he's not going to AEW. I think we've confirmed pretty close, as much as we can, that he actually re-signed with WWE a while back.
Is there a possibility?
Yes.
that this could be a no contest or a disqualification? Is there a possibility that there could not be a winner?
I hope not.
Because I'm looking at it, it's not a no DQ. There's the threat of Karrion Kross. There's also the threat of Finn Balor, even though he lost in that match, to go, to be in those talks, to be in this match. It's just kind of like, could something happen that I hope not. To me, there needs to be a winner in this.
I'll tell you what, that'd be a funny tribute to Dusty Rhodes, because, he created the Great American Bash and have a dusty finish. But I don't think most wrestling fans would, look at it.
I would
that
absolutely
way.
hate that, because this is the match I've been waiting
Well, I would hate it too. That would if you have a winner take all match like this, you need to have it be no DQ, no count out, just completely rule out any possibility of a dusty finish.
But they didn't do that.
No,
so
I know.
That's kind of what has my brain rattled a little bit.
Okay.
If I'm picking a winner.
Okay, so if we go that route, then you're saying both keep their belts, but not one walks out with both.
I'm not saying that's my prediction. I'm just saying I'm just saying that comes to my mind, which makes this really hard, because I feel like that's a third angle to look at.
Yeah.
Because you when you're weighing it, it's like, okay, well, this could happen, or this could happen, which could be one of those storylines where they keep their belts and Karrion Kross comes in there and destroys both of them, and it just, I don't know, that's the part that kind of intrigues me a little bit.
There are so many different ways they could go.
If I'm picking a winner in the current climate of what's going on, I'm going Keith Lee with the mindset that either afterwards Karrion Kross is going to come out and attack Adam Cole and kind of put him on the shelf in a sense to get him off TV, to get him off NXT.
Okay.
So when he is ready, we put him on the main roster, SummerSlam, whatever, makes his debut. I'm going to go Keith Lee from that standpoint. And then it would set up Karrion Kross to then go right after Keith Lee with no blockades, no other storylines to deal with. The problem with that is that I don't want to see Keith Lee lose the NXT championship that early. So if Karrion Kross is going to beat him for a belt, for me, it's the North American.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. So assuming one of them walks out with both titles, it's intriguing to me how they're going to go about that, because generally the history of wrestling has always kind of portrayed that, okay, if you are the holder of 2 singles titles, that you will keep the main card title of the 2, because usually if someone's a double champion, they have the main card title and then the mid card or the secondary title or whatever, and then the secondary / mid card title is held up in a tournament or a battle royal or whatever. I could very easily see whoever walks out with both belts, assuming one of them does, actually defending both championships. And I think they actually need to do that, because I think it would give NXT a different feel in that regard. It would kind of have a refreshing flavor, for lack of a better way of putting it, if they went that route. I think they should.
He'll drop one of them pretty quick. I don't see them keeping both belts on one person.
I would,
just because it does limit the amount of storylines that you can do.
No, I agree. My thought process is, let's just say Keith Lee walks out with both titles. I could easily see him successfully defending the North American title maybe 2 or 3 times, just kind of like one-off title defenses, kind of like what they're doing with the NXT Women's title. Yeah, just on a normal weekly show.
I could see that.
Have 1 or 2 successful defenses on weekly TV, even have a successful defense on a takeover, but then within, I would say, 2 months max, have him drop it to somebody, and it could, like I said, you could do a short build for it, and then give it to somebody who maybe you wouldn't expect to, see in that picture. I mean,
Dexter Lumis.
Nah, I was thinking more along the lines of, I keep wanting to call him Punishment Martinez. Gosh, what is my deal with names today? He was Punishment Martinez in Ring of Honor. Why am I'm going to the chat. Who is it, guys?
Damian Priest?
Damian Priest, yeah. Sorry.
I was like, I don't know his indie name, but it sounds like Damian Priest.
Yeah, it's Damian Priest. I
could see Dijakovic's injured, I think, right now, but I could see Dijakovic in that picture.
Yeah, I think they need to do
Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes could be in that picture.
I'm not a Cameron Grimes guy.
Neither am I, but I think they like him.
he just never, kind of like you with Chris Hero / Cassius Ohno, like Trevor Lee / Cameron Grimes has never done it for me for whatever reason. So we've kind of neglected the chat for a few minutes. Let's see what you guys say. We have a lot of people saying Lee for the win. Let's see. Lynn says Candice. He thinks Candice is going to win.
Ooh, Bronson Reed.
Yeah,
someone said
that's
Reed.
not a bad suggestion.
Australian strong style.
Let's see. Jamie says, in the grand scheme of things, I hate the idea of winner take all. I would hate it if they overdid those matches, but they don't do them too often. That's kind of what makes them.
This match has
appealing.
to happen.
Oh yeah,
I mean, because here's the thing: Adam Cole more than likely is going to the main roster. I mean, that seems to me like that's happening.
He's been overdue for the main roster for quite some time, in my opinion.
So you're losing out on the opportunity to have Adam Cole versus Keith Lee at some point.
Ooh, Miguel says Kushida.
Yeah. With the right build, but they have not yet used him right.
They've not. Agreed. And this is what that would help kind of propel him to where fans would kind of get on board with the fact that, like, you and I know that Kushida's not been used properly at all. Like, if you've watched any of his New Japan or Ring of Honor stuff, you know that Kushida has not been used correctly since day one. And I think that would be a good push for him. I mean, he's held, the mid-card title for Ring of Honor. I don't know what all he held in New Japan. I know he was their junior heavyweight champion. So, I mean, he's fully capable of kind of carrying the mid-card / workers title.
Yeah.
So I actually like that suggestion better than Damian Priest.
I see him more in the cruiserweight division at this point in time. Was actually shocked that they didn't put the belts on him. I see now why, but I would be more inclined to think that they're going to put him back in that area, which is sad. It's a misuse of a good talent, but
yeah, I agree. Let's switch over to Fyter Fest. We'll go through these. I've got 6 matches on this one, so
yeah, I got 6.
Okay, so let's just run through these real quick. So first one, we've got Nyla Rose against TBA.
I'm gonna go with TBA. No, I'm just actually. So I'm reading that this could be a swerve. Like, they're saying that this could actually not just be some random person.
Well, I actually read somewhere. I don't know if it was confirmed or if it was a rumor. I read that it was going to be Nyla Rose against 2 women, like a 2-on-1 match. And I don't know if that was confirmed or not. But I mean, either way, I'm still going Nyla Rose. I've not heard anything. Like you're saying, it could be a swerve. I've not.
Yeah, I when you put the word TBA on it, to me, it's a no-brainer who to pick at the moment. But I am interested to see what they do, because if you're doing Fyter Fest, like, my problem with the way they book this is that when you're doing Fyter Fest and you're trying to make it a little bit more amped up than your normal card, we already see enhancement talent on your normal card.
Jason has TBA.
We already see that on a weekly basis, especially right now during these COVID times, where it's just a random person in the ring. You don't really know who they are.
Yeah.
So I don't like that they're making it seem like she's just going to fight an enhancement talent on a show that you're trying to promote as just a step above or a notch above your normal Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
I am going to go with Nyla Rose, but I would love to see them swerve us, and either maybe they signed a name that we're not aware of. Maybe they've had a name that we're not aware of. Maybe they use somebody that we haven't seen use, like an Alley.
Yeah. Nyla Rose against Abaddon.
Abaddon, I'm going to be okay with that. Even though I know Nyla would get the win, maybe it would actually get Abaddon a little bit more over. I don't know. But I'm interested to see what happens with that.
Breaking news, Andrew says Sarah Logan announced she's pregnant. Congratulations to Sarah Logan. And which one is she married to?
She is married to the ugly one, the not cute one.
I didn't know one was.
Well, it's from the segments that they've been doing with
Raymond Rowe
with the Street Profits, because they say the other one is he's cute, and then the other girl,
oh, I see what you're saying.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm not judging. I'm not ranking him that way.
So I didn't understand where you're going.
I was playing off the storyline that you just didn't catch on to.
I didn't. That's what made it funny, though. No, seriously, congratulations.
I wonder if that played in. I wonder if she's known. I wonder if that played into her release a little bit, or knowing that she wanted to be going that direction.
Billy asked, "Is YouTube faster than Facebook today?" It appears so.
It's usually always by about 20 seconds.
Yeah, if you want a more real-time video, YouTube's going to be the way to go. There we go. Okay, my computer was acting like it was going to lock up on me. Okay, so let's see.
We both said Nyla.
So Lance Archer against Joey Janela. I'm going Lance Archer.
Yeah, and I told you this last week. I have a problem with this card. I really do. Now, I read somewhere that there's a potential 7th match and that they might spring on us that could be a title match, but I don't know which one they're talking about. I don't know what title. The only title I could see them
TNT
doing is TNT with like a open challenge because he likes to do it every week. But
I'd be okay with it.
They got oh no, it's the tag match.
What is?
They're doing Kenny Omega and Hangman Page versus Private Party.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying you didn't know that was on the card?
Because that wasn't announced originally, was it?
They didn't announce it until the match. I think they announced it just before the tag title match last week.
That's what's replacing the Jon Moxley Brian Cage match.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Okay.
But yeah, I'd be okay with a Cody against Brian Pillman Jr. as a surprise match. That'd be.
Yeah, and they might do it because or even a Brian, I think Brian Cage needs to be on this card somewhere. So if they don't do that, he needs to come out and fight somebody with an average name.
I'm sure he'll be on. I'm sure he'll make an appearance. Like him and Taz will be out there, but
I think he actually needs to be in the ring. But
okay, so you said Archer for this one also.
Yeah, hopefully he looks good.
Let's go Colt Cabana and the Dark Order against SCU.
This is an interesting one. I'm gonna go Colt Cabana and
really
the Dark Order, and the reason why is that it's playing into that storyline, and SCU is helping play into this real storyline here, which is Colt Cabana and the potential of him signing with the Dark Order.
SCU has taken a lot of L's lately.
Yeah, and this is what I said, and I'm wondering if this is why they got the belts when they did, because I think the idea is that at least 2 of the 3 are up there in age. Mm-hmm. All right, and this is not a diss at them because they are still doing decent matches.
I love their new shirt, by the way.
This is the worst year I've ever lived in.
It's fantastic.
So this, to me, I think SCU came in knowing that they were there to help build and enhance their talents.
Yeah, agreed.
And
well, I mean, they've even said, CD is there to help with a lot of the backstage talent related things. I agree from the standpoint they put the belts on Kazarian and Scorpio Sky in the beginning to kind of help them get that rub of, whoever maybe wasn't as familiar with Ring of Honor or Impact / TNA, and to help them get that rub to where, like you said, whenever they're giving the rub to others, it really feels like they're helping to build them. So no, I get it from that standpoint. So it's just not as cut and dry for me, though. I think I'm going to agree with you reluctantly. I'm going to say Dark Order and Cabana because I agree. I think from a storyline standpoint, it's going to enhance that storyline. Where they go or how they run with it is, I'm intrigued to see it, but I could. I think let's look at it from this perspective. If they have the Dark Order and Colt Cabana lose, then I think it would kind of tease Colt Cabana being on bad terms with the Dark Order, and I think it's too soon for that.
The only thing I could see where they lose and it still fits the storyline is if Colt Cabana takes the pin and Brody Lee still offers his hand. Like, I can help you. I can help make you better.
Ooh, that's true.
And that's what I'm saying.
I'm sticking with my prediction.
Is that's the only way I could see the L going on them and it's still fitting the storyline. But I ultimately think Colt Cabana is actually going to get the pin where, like he did this past couple of weeks, where Brody Lee kind of did the work and then let Colt get the win. So...
I'll tell you what. I was gonna do Jericho and Orange Cassidy next. I'm gonna save that because I read a rumor that that's actually gonna main event the night. Which
I could see that.
I could too, but I mean, I don't think you'd have the AEW tag title match main eventing back-to-back Wednesdays. So
not that match in particular, anyways.
And then the 8-man tag title or the 8-man match. Yeah, I think it would make sense for Jericho and Cassidy to main event if that rumor is true.
From Jericho's namesake alone,
yeah.
I think.
Okay, so let's do the 8-man tag match.
Now, with this 8-man tag match, I do think it has the potential to be the match of the night on this card. the amount of talent that is in this match is absolutely through the roof.
Yeah, and I even said this match will either make or break Butcher and the Blade from a overall talent, in-ring, etc. standpoint. I will say, however, I'm going to exercise my bravery pick on this one. I'm actually going to say Lucha Bros and Butcher and Blade get the win here.
I could see that because I could see there being a lot of dissension and problems between FTR and the Young Bucks.
You know they're going to go that route. I mean, that's
Do
all,
I?
Well,
Because so far AEW
at some point. I'm not saying.
I think they're waiting for a crowd, and they're hoping that happens sooner than later. So I think they're trying to do their best to just keep teasing and teasing until they can do this in front of fans.
AEW is good at milking stuff. I'll give them that.
I don't know. For me, it's hard to have FTR take an L, but I could see how that would be okay in this match, seeing how they don't have to be the ones that get pinned.
Yeah, I was gonna say if FTR and the Bucks lose, it's gonna be Matt or Nick taking the pin.
I do like your pick because I want to see the Lucha Bros get a win. They have not been on TV, and they are, to me, still the one, if not the best tag team on the roster. They're up there. Man, this is tough. I'll go on the other side. I'll do FTR and the Young Bucks.
Okay.
I'll oppose you.
Okay.
And
I think
just for the fun, for the fun of it.
I think this is finally the first match that we're going in different directions.
I will oppose you just so we can say we had a clear-cut winner.
Okay. So let's look at the tag title match: Kenny and Hangman against Private Party. I don't know. Do they do the change here?
Because of the swerve with Jon Moxley, do you say we're just going to swerve all together and we're going to go ahead and have the dissension? The problem is they stopped teasing. The only thing they really teased last week, and I don't know if anybody caught it, is that when Hangman Page did his interview with Kenny, he said, no one's going to come after my titles.
Yeah.
He didn't say my title, my titles, as if he's the one who is doing all the work. So that was kind of the only thing that I caught that could tease dissension still, or tease that maybe he's getting too big of a head and he might try to take on more than he can chew. With Matt Hardy kind of playing that role of manager for them, I don't know. I think the safe pick is Kenny Omega and Adam Page. I just don't know a Private Party is ready to hold belts.
Yeah, that was going to be my logic. I think just for that reason alone, I think they're going to keep the belts on Kenny and Hangman.
Because I think they're saving that that turn for a pay-per-view-esque type thing, and I just don't know the way that they now. I will say this: the way that they booked this card, that would set the card off.
Oh yeah.
All right, like if they were to do that right, that would set the card off. I mean, like that would be what would have everybody in shock and awe, is to have Page turn on Kenny. Private Party gets a shocking win, whatever. It would also give Private Party the rub that maybe they need to be champions. I don't know. In the current climate, I don't think they're ready, but they don't have to hold the belts that long either. They could easily drop them to somebody in a month and a half and it'd be all right. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna go Kenny Omega and Adam Page though.
I am too. Okay, last match: Chris Jericho, Orange Cassidy.
This one's not a clear cut for me.
I think for me, it's a little more clear just from looking at it from a storyline perspective. I'm going Jericho just because I think they're going to somehow prolong this. I don't know in what shape or form, but if Orange Cassidy gets the win, then it's like I have a hard time seeing where they go if Orange Cassidy wins versus Jericho winning. And unless they do some kind of, I don't know, some kind of like new talent reveal to like end the show.
which they had plenty of new talent sitting around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to envision scenarios. I think I'm just gonna go with for this one, at least for me, what I feel like is the safer bet would be a Jericho win. Now they could have, they could in the night again with a dusty finish. It could just be a schmoz to end the show. Who knows? But I will say the Inner Circle is down 2 members. So, I mean, we've seen that Sammy Guevara is gone for,
obvious
reasons we've discussed. Jake Hager was in storyline suspended for hitting the referee last week. So, I don't know if I see a schmoz happening. So, I'm just going to go Jericho. This is going to be my safe bet.
Let me set the scene for you.
Here we go.
Chris Jericho, Orange Cassidy, they're having a match. They're doing their thing. Chris Jericho's frustrated because he hits him with, this move and that move and cannot get him to stay down. Orange Cassidy keeps kicking out. He waves down, tells Proud and Prideful to come down.
Proud and Prideful?
Isn't that their tag name?
Proud and Powerful.
Whatever. I hate their tag name. Just call them Santana and Ortiz.
This is the other thing I was going to say. Andrew says if Orange wins, then the Inner Circle would have lost every match they're in on Fyter Fest. That's a great point.
He waves them down, tells them to come to the ring. Whatever. They come down. They're out there to distract, but here comes Best Friends. Best Friends. Best Friends comes down. They help out their boy. They get rid of Santana and Ortiz. It is, again, just Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho, and Orange Cassidy gets the surprise win. I'm going Orange Cassidy.
Nice. All right. Lynn agrees with you, by the way. He says Orange with the win to shock everyone.
I only said that because, one, Chris Jericho has been very big on putting Orange Cassidy over. Outside of AEW, or talking outside of storyline, he likes him. See, you were talking about you don't know where the storyline goes if Chris Jericho loses. I don't know where the storyline goes if Chris Jericho wins. To me, if Chris Jericho loses, he has a reason to keep coming at Orange Cassidy, saying I that was a fluke or whatever. That'll never happen again. Where if Chris Jericho gets the win, I don't see Orange Cassidy coming after Chris Jericho if his gimmick is I'm lazy or I don't try very hard. So I don't know. I think that Orange Cassidy gets this win to prolong the storyline after he's been beat up and had been beat with oranges and everything else. So
okay. So no matter what happens with NXT Great American Bash, we're gonna tie because we agreed on all those. But
we have two different.
We had we picked
AEW.
We had two different finish picks for Fyter Fest. So cool. All right, we got our predictions taken care of. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of Lord Alfred Hayes.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
I want to let you guys know / remind you guys, for those of you that check us out every week, that you can check out the Going Broadway podcast. We have new shows every Monday and just about every Thursday. we were not here last Thursday, but generally 95% of the time you can catch us live every Monday and every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central Time on Facebook and on YouTube. We simulcast to both. You can check us out at facebook.com/Going Broadway Podcast. Please like our Facebook page. Please get your friends, your family, any groups that you're in, please get them to like our page. We still plan on doing our 3-belt giveaway once we get to 5,000 likes and also once we get to 1,000 Twitter followers. Our Twitter handle is @GoingBRDWYPod. That is also our Instagram handle as well, @GoingBRDWYPod. Please follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Once again, we will be doing a 3-belt giveaway once we get to 5,000 Facebook likes and 1,000 Twitter followers. We've already hit our benchmarks for YouTube and Instagram, so we're good there. Speaking of YouTube, our YouTube link is goingbroadwaypodcast.com/YouTube, or you can just type in Going Broadway Podcast in the YouTube search box. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Andrew says, how many likes away are we? We've got a ways to go. I think we're at like 4,100 and...
I'll give you the exact number here.
We're like 4,140, something like that, 4,130. I mean, we've got a ways to go. So, again, just to recap that, please like our Facebook page. Please follow us on Twitter. Please follow us on Instagram. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you've done all 4 of those, you will get 4 entries in our next 3 belt giveaway drawing. If you've only done 3, you'll get 3 entries. If you've only done 2, you'll only get 2 entries, etc. Now, if you want more entries into our next belt giveaway and all other future announced giveaways, you can check us out on Patreon. It's scrolling across the bottom of your screen right now, patreon.com/goingbroadwaypodcast. If you'd like to consider becoming a patron, we have 4 different paid tiers that you can choose from, anywhere from as much as a $50 monthly commitment to a $5 monthly commitment, but all of those have their own perks and benefits, including, but not limited to, additional free giveaway entries, discounted merch purchases, free merch as well. And speaking of merch, I want to bring this up real quick here. We have new Alex Cole Bebe shirts and hoodies. You can purchase these for $25 a piece for a t-shirt shipped plus applicable taxes, $50 for a hoodie shipped plus applicable taxes. That is for sizes small through extra large. Any sizes XXL or bigger will be, they will have an additional charge. But speaking of free shirt, who wants to do a giveaway this morning?
Yeah.
Well, Cole wants to, but he can't win.
I never can win. It's sad.
I'll tell you what, guys. We're going to do a giveaway this morning. The winner of the giveaway we are about ready to do will get a t-shirt of your choosing. So Cole and myself will not be the only ones with an Alex Cole Bebe shirt. One of you out there will be getting one of these. It'll be made to order. It'll be just for our lower 48 states viewers only, because shipping anywhere else would just be, it would be too much. I mean, you'd literally be paying more than what the shirt's actually worth. So, again, it'll be made to order. The winner would have to contact me privately to give me your shirt size, your shirt color selection, and your mailing address. And I think I covered everything. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a Name That Tune again. So I'm only going to say this once. If you're on Facebook and you want to participate and have the best chance to win, hop on over to our YouTube channel. You're going to have to be logged in with your YouTube profile so we can see when you comment.
It won't let you comment unless you're logged in.
Yeah,
so
exactly. I'll give you a minute or two to do that, to switch over while I'm kind of going through the rules. We're only going to be playing 4 of these. We're only going to be playing 4 themes. The first person that we see that gets the correct answer on our end will get 1 entry. I'm only going to be doing 4 of those, so we're only going to have 4 entries. Then we're going to do the randomizer, 10 clicks. Whoever wins on the 10th click will be the winner of a t-shirt of your size and of your choosing. That's the other thing I forgot to mention. The t-shirts are made to order, so it would be about 3 to 4 weeks on average from the time that the winner contacts me until it arrives at your front door. So 3 to 4 weeks is an average. So if it's a little quicker or if it's a little longer, I'm just prefacing by saying that. But it's going to be free, so you've got nothing to complain about. So,
are we only doing 1 entry per person?
Yeah, 1 entry per correct answer.
So if they guess one right, are they out after that point?
Yeah. You can only guess 1 correctly. So
just want to clarify for all of our listeners.
Yeah, correct. Only 1 entry per person.
And remember, Alex gets all of these in real time. He gets it down to the millisecond. So make sure that you guys comment. Be as specific as you can be so we understand exactly what it is. And then he'll let you know exactly who it was down to the millisecond of who commented.
Yeah, it literally puts it in order on my end of who commented at what particular point in time, literally. When I say point in time, literally it tells me down to the millisecond. Now, if we have a tie, then whoever tied will get entries. So more than likely there's going to be 4 entries, but if there there might be 5
We
or
have
6.
had one tie before.
Yeah, we've only had one tie. So here's how this is going to work, guys. Again, we're playing Name That Tune, but these are going to be pay-per-view themes. I'm only going to play 4 of them. What you have to do is you just have to tell me the name of the pay-per-view that particular theme comes from. You don't have to be specific. You don't have to say it was, WrestleMania 12. You just have to tell me WrestleMania. You don't have to tell me it was a particular year. You just have to tell me the name of the pay-per-view, and that's it. WrestleMania or In Your House. You don't have to tell me which In Your House it was, if that makes sense. So
what he's saying is that if you don't know, guess.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because you may just get lucky.
Exactly. So I actually need to get this little randomizer thing open so I can get names keyed in here whenever we get these right.
As he's doing that, somebody asked for the exact number on Facebook. We're at 4,136 likes.
Okay, so I was close.
But I just noticed that we are followed by 4,161. So there's like 30 people.
It's more than that.
Here,
I can tell you guys real quick. Yeah, Cole makes a great point. So
make sure you're liking the page and not just following, because you do not count in those drawings if you are following the page. You have to be liking it.
Yep. So we have 4,136 people that says that like this page, but we have 4,361 people that follow it. So there's literally like an extra 220, 230 people that follow it but don't like the page.
We would be so much closer to the giveaway right there if you can just tell people that make sure that you are liking the page and not following it.
Not just following it.
Not just
Correct.
following it, because liking it is what gets you in the drawing, which a lot of those people are probably wanting in the drawing. So make sure they know you can't just click follow. You got to click like.
Exactly. And we love doing these giveaways. Again, we didn't announce this one. We just said, I told Cole before we went on, hey, we're just going to do this drawing today because we want to thank you guys for checking out the show, for hanging out, for listening, for watching. And this is our way to tell you guys thank you for doing that, because you're watching / listening, not necessarily knowing we were doing this, if that makes sense. So I want to make sure that it looks like
we have some people saying they've gotten here from Facebook.
Yep.
So I think we've given enough time.
We have. I mean, we've still got people on Facebook, but maybe we've got people that are on both just to be on the safe side, which is totally fine. But we are going to play the first theme here in a couple seconds. I want to make sure that we don't have any ads. That we don't. Okay, remember, you just have to tell me the name of the pay-per-view. I don't need to know the year, which one, etc. So now the first one we're doing, I will actually accept 2 answers for this. So either one will be correct. You don't have to have both answers. You just have to have one, and I will take whichever one I see first. So here we go. I'm going to play it right now. Here we go. Lizard V1 is correct. He got the answer correct first. It is SummerSlam. I also would have taken Royal Rumble. Okay, so Lizard V1 gets the correct answer. By the way, guys, just a friendly reminder, please keep our chat threads clean, free of vulgar language and all that stuff. I'd appreciate it. So Lizard V1 is our first winner. Again, I would have taken SummerSlam or...
There was a couple behind him that said Royal Rumble, so you guys were close.
Yep. But yeah, SummerSlam or Royal Rumble I would have taken. Now, Lizard V1, you can guess on any more of these if you want, but you only get the one entry. So we're going to play 3 more of these. Which one do I want to do next? Let's see.
And those of you who are still on Facebook, he switched over. So
Yeah, exactly.
make sure that if you're listening, you got 3 more shots. If you got time, switch over to have the best chance to win.
Okay, here we go. Next one. Hang on a second. All right. Ed says, where do you answer? You just answer in the chat thread, but like I said, Ed looks like you're on Facebook. So if you want the better chance to win, YouTube is about 20 seconds ahead of Facebook. So we're going to do 3 more of these. So you better hop over to YouTube if you want the better chance to win. So here we go. Next one. Michael Jones with the win. WrestleMania it is.
I will say this, Michael Jones and Andrew Lassell, you guys usually know your guys' music when it comes to this.
Exactly.
You guys, I know you guys haven't won one today, but like from these little game show things that we do, it's like every single time you guys usually comment your first comment with the right answer. It may not always be first, but you guys usually comment with what is like the right answer. So I will give you guys credit. You guys know your wrestling music. These ones are hard. I mean, like if you didn't watch pay-per-views your whole entire life, you're just guessing. Like me, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know any of these so far.
Yeah, we had some. I like how we have some guesses that someone said somebody guessed before the music even started. You know what? There's no rules against that. So I mean, I think Lynn, Andrew, and Michael actually got it right. I think they commented before the music even started. Guys, well, at least, so I started it on my end, but it probably popped up on the chat thread before it started on your end. So.
And just remember, guys, again, we get the exact time that those comments come in on our end. So if it shows up on your end that you were first, it does not mean that it came in first.
Exactly.
A lot of times when I comment, mine shows up at the top of my screen when other people have been commenting before me.
So I'll tell you real quick. So Michael Jones got it and this is Central Time. He got it at 10:16 and 10 seconds. I think Poli Do Ape, I don't know how to pronounce that, but you got it at 10:16 and 14 seconds is what it shows on my end. So Michael Jones beat you by 4 seconds. And again, YouTube does mass commenting within a 60-second time frame, so it might show up first on your end, but on my end it shows the exact timestamp. So, Andrew says I have something typed and hit enter as soon as the music starts. That's awesome. Okay, so the next one I'm going to play, I'm actually really excited about it because I think I'm going to change our. If you check out our countdown before we actually go live, we have a soundtrack that goes with it. I'm thinking about actually changing our soundtrack to this. So, everything unmuted, no ads. Okay, here we go. Andrew gets it. Super Brawl it is.
I thought the Starcade guess was a good one.
Yeah. Starcade and Great American Bash were both good guesses.
I was like, man, Starcade sounded good.
I want to let this play because, like I said, I think I'm going to change our countdown soundtrack to this.
Andrew Lassell, you were the winner.
So if you join us on Thursday during our countdown, you'll probably have the pleasure of listening to this. Okay. That's enough. All right. I'm going to play one more.
So who we got so far? Just to recap.
So we have got Lizard V1, Michael Jones, and Andrew Lascelles. Now, again, guys, I'm assuming you three that have won so far live within the lower 48 states. If you don't, please let me know on this chat thread, because more than likely you will not want to pay the shipping cost for an overseas. You won't want to pay the overseas shipping cost for a T-shirt.
Mike says he's good.
Andrew's good. Michael's good. Okay. And remember, guys, if you win, you have to contact me. I will not be contacting any winners going forward for any of our giveaways.
He says I don't, but he'll pay the shipping. Hey, we'll give it a shot. We'll let you know what it is, and
yeah.
you can let us know. If not, we'll have something fun to do on Thursday.
Yeah. Andrew, I appreciate it, but if you win, that's part of this. We'll take care of the shipping. No worries there. So, all right, we're going to play one more here. Make sure there's not any ads, and there's not. Okay. In my opinion, this is the most underrated pay-per-view theme ever. By the way, just to kind of give you guys kind of a quick, short background, Cole and I are both musicians, so when it comes to anything like musical or whatever, if it seems like we kind of get a little excited about certain music or whatever, that's why.
Yeah,
so,
we have a musical side to us, so it's hard to us not to evaluate the music of it as well.
Whenever Cole was marking out, whenever we did the Rock Sasha Banks mashup, whenever he went nuts for that one.
Oh, that was because it was in my wheelhouse.
We might close the show with that today. I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys, here we go. Yeah, that Super Brawl song, I love it, and I need to look into making sure that we were not gonna violate any kind of copyrights with that before we switch our countdown over to that. But I'd really love to.
We do need more of like a like that vibe though before we start the show. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right, here we go, guys. Last one. Hitting play right now. Pulley Dope or Pulley Do Ape gets it. It's Slamboree. You're correct.
This is a very different type of theme, like very, very different type of theme music.
So Slamboree back in the day was actually meant to be like a Legends pay-per-view. Like it had normal matches and stuff, but it was very much an old school feel. And whoever composed this song, I think, purposely tried to give it that kind of, I don't know. It just has an old school feel to it. The theme does anyway. And I like it. I contemplated changing our countdown theme to this, but I'm like,
it doesn't build you that way. To me, this it has that feeling of the ending credit scenes of a 16 Candles type movie. like it just has that very uplifting, we just hit the ending.
Yeah.
This would be a in the show kind of song.
Yeah. All right.
Well, thanks for playing, guys. Those of you that guessed and didn't necessarily get in. These are always fun. So we appreciate you guys hanging out with us, playing with us.
You know what? I want to do one more.
Oh,
I'm going to do one more.
Because we can do what we want. We're the greatest podcast ever,
right,
okay?
Guys, we're going to do one more.
Just for you, one more.
One more.
So stick with us here and give your guess on this last one.
Last one. For you four that have won so far, you can't guess, or you can, but you won't win. Okay, one more. Last one, I promise. So we'll have 5. So far, no one has got it right. KJ Designs and Productions gets it. It is Starcade. Starcade Battle Bowl.
Yeah, that's got a Starcade feel to it. I love some of these guesses, though. You guys are digging deep into the bag.
I'm cracking up at Lynn. He would guess Great American Bash like right away every time.
Maybe because he just thought we would go festive with what's going on right now.
Yeah.
You know, that we would name one.
That's the thing. Okay, I'll say this. So the Super Brawl theme that was used. If you watch WCW back in the day, they'd always have like a pay-per-view control center before they would go live with the pay-per-view. They did use that theme during a Great American Bash like control center segment, but that wasn't the actual theme for the pay-per-view. That was Super Brawl 1. So,
Bonnie, we appreciate you. I love the people who said I try, but maybe next time. Way to have a great spirit about it.
Agreed.
We enjoy doing these things with you guys. Again, remember, all these giveaways are just free, and they're just fun to play and
Agreed.
have a good time.
I mean, we have just as much fun as you guys do.
We like to give free stuff away.
Well, and just not just that, but just the fun that we have being able to do it. I mean, it's just like I said, it's a lot of fun. So we are going to close the show by doing this little randomizer, and
so we got 5 in. I believe it was Lizard V1, Andrew LaSalle. Was it Michael Hunter? I believe
Michael Jones.
Michael Jones. My apologies. We got 2 Michaels on. Michael Jones, KJ Designs, and it was Pola Duape, I think is how we pronounce your YouTube name.
I'm just gonna say.
Could you give a translation on how to say
Pola Duape? That's how.
Are we saying it right? Just tell us if we're saying it right.
And by the way, just so you guys know, Michael Jones actually won our last giveaway. He has actually has Jim Ross's most recent book called Under the Black Hat that I sent to him. It should be getting to him tomorrow, I believe, possibly today. I checked the tracking on it earlier. So, Michael, if you're still hanging out with us and watching, expect that to be delivered today or tomorrow. Again, he was a winner of the brand new Jim Ross Under the Black Hat book. There's also a special surprise in there for you, Michael, as well. So,
Andrew says, as long as y'all never do TNA themes, we're good. That would be a fun one to do.
I don't know. I mean, there were a couple that were okay.
There were some bangers. TNA had a couple bangers.
Jay Lethal's TNA theme was good.
I actually liked Rob Van Dam's TNA theme, but that's just me.
All right, guys. So here we go. We're going to do this on the 10th click. Will be our winner. And then the winner has to contact me with their shirt size, the shirt selection, the color, and your mailing address. And like I said, it takes on average about 3 to 4 weeks. I guess I can move this while I'm talking to you guys. 3 to 4 weeks. My microphone just bumped into your camera. There we go. 3 to 4 weeks from the time that you give me your information to arriving to your front door. Again, that's just an average. So if it's a little quicker or a little longer, just be mindful of that. Bonnie, I appreciate the comment. We are all winners if we listen. That's one of the greatest compliments we can get. I mean, if you guys are entertained and having a good time, that's really all that matters. So, let's do this. Oh, I'm going to put this back up here real quick. So, again, these are our shirts. The winner will be able to select a T-shirt, not a hoodie, just a T-shirt only. You can get a black T-shirt with green or gold lettering, a gold shirt with black lettering, or a green shirt with black lettering. or black text, I should say, lettering.
Yeah.
That's the Southern Illinois coming out in me. But these are also for sale as well. So if you're interested, contact me. $25 for a t-shirt shipped plus applicable taxes. $50 for a hoodie shipped plus applicable taxes. If you're interested in multiple shirts, we can probably work out a deal with you. Just depending on what you want. If we can ship everything together, we could work out some kind of a package deal.
We also have our logo shirts too, which I don't know if we have a slide for that, but
we don't.
We have our logo shirts. They literally just have our Going Broadway logo, which is on the top right of your screen there on this picture. So it's also in the dead center when it pops up here between Alex and I. And we have different colors of that you can find on our Facebook page, surely. So go check those out as well if you would like one of those.
Agreed. All right, let's do this. So
10th click. 5 people in.
Lizard 3, you said, is that shirt available too? I'm not sure what you mean, but so just to clarify, the winner of this drawing gets an Alex Colbebe shirt.
Yeah, that's the shirt. That's it for the drawing. Yes.
You know what? I'll tell you what. If you want a Going Broadway podcast text shirt, you can choose from one of those two. I don't care. I'll let you guys pick.
They're made to order, so.
Yeah, exactly. I'll let you guys pick. So, but again, if you're interested in buying any of them, let me know. $25 shipped for a t-shirt plus applicable taxes. $50 shipped for a hoodie plus applicable taxes. That is for sizes small through XL. If you're a double XL or bigger, there would be an additional fee. Okay, let's do this. I'm bringing this microphone down so you can hear me clicking. Hopefully. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last click is going to be our winner. Number 10, KJ Designs and Productions is our winner. What's funny about that is KJ Designs and Productions was the 5th and final.
Got in just by the skin of the teeth there.
That's just because we decided only to. I literally decided on the spot to do a 5th one just because.
Because we can.
Exactly. So
it's a random giveaway, surprise giveaway. We're the greatest podcast ever. We can do what we want when we want. And I love it.
As long as it's legal.
Even if it is illegal, we could do it. It's just
we might not have a show next
repercussions
week or on Thursday. So, but yeah, KJ Designs and Productions. Congratulations. Please contact me privately through my private Facebook or my personal Facebook page, or through our Going Broadway podcast Facebook page. But again, I know we sound like a broken record, but thanks for tuning in and for hanging out with us, for the viewership, for the listenership, for hanging out and participating in these little contests that we like to do. We sincerely appreciate it. We appreciate you guys, and I could stay on here for the next 30 minutes just saying how much I appreciate you guys, and we sincerely do. So, but yeah, we'll do more of these giveaways. Stay tuned as well on our Facebook page if you're interested in any belt raffles. That's a new thing that we're doing. Yeah, I'll keep you up to date on when we'll do our next one. Who knows? I might throw one up today. You'll have to find out. Cole, any final thoughts?
Guys, make sure you get that Going Broadway podcast merch. Make sure you be sharing the page to everybody, because we want to give those belts away just as bad as you want to receive them. So make sure you're sharing on all avenues. And thank you for watching the greatest podcast ever. And make sure you watch Great American Bash and Fighter Fest this Wednesday night, as we will probably recap.
We will recap on Thursday.
This Thursday. We are bummed that we couldn't recap, but there was just so much to talk about today and not enough time to recap night one. So we will recap with you guys Thursday, and it'll be awesome.
10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central this Thursday on Facebook and YouTube. You can check us out on both. Lynn says, quick question for anyone out there. AW Dark, when and where can I watch it? AW Dark is on Tuesday nights.
On YouTube.
On YouTube. I think it's at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, I think. Or maybe it's 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. One of the two.
Lynn, you can subscribe to their page, and it will actually, there's a thing on here that you can go just to your subscriptions, and it'll show you that every time they drop a new video.
Now, Lynn, I know you're in Canada. I don't know what like time frames look like for you, but yeah, Cole's right. Just subscribe to their page, and you'll get notifications when they throw a video up. Now, AEW Dark is not live, so
yeah, it's taped.
So just so you know, it's not like you can go back and watch it whenever, but they throw up the video live on Tuesday nights, so Eastern time zone. Okay, so Lynn, I want to say it's 6 p.m. your time Tuesday night. I think, not 100% positive, but again, just subscribe to AEW's YouTube page and it'll notify you. So once again, guys, thanks for tuning in and hanging out. We love each and every one of you guys. We thank you for just supporting us, supporting our pages, supporting our brand, and catch us Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. We'll see you then.
And so, goodbye. And good night. Bang!
This podcast was a presentation of LightUpMedia.fm.